I just did my first cold start on the new Volvo, and well, I started right up nice. And I just wanted to point out a few things here in the cab that I think are really nice about this machine. The biggest being the room. There's so much room. I've got my feet pretty much stretched out here, and I can run the pedals easily both directions, which I could not do. I couldn't run the pedals backwards in the old machine. There wasn't enough room. And so here I can really stretch out. This bottom glass, instead of sliding out, it just kind of pops out, and then if you want, you can set it down inside these little pockets, and then these clips here, they clip into the upper window, so you can have the top of the window down and have the bottom open if you want, or once the bottom window's clipped to this upper one, when you lift and raise the upper window up to the ceiling, it's you have a nice wide open area here in the front. I just can't get over how wide this cab is too. It's so roomy. So it's going to take a while to warm up. It's only about 28 degrees out right now, but you'll see everything's just, they're like automotive style and quality knobs and so on in here. This is your heat, AC, and your fan speed. And then this is your control panel on how to control your screen here. We'll go through a couple of those. Here's your different lights. Now this thing comes with all LED lights. They're super bright. There's one underneath the boom shining right down at the bucket. Then there's one there and one there, and then there's also one in the back. You can cycle those on here. I've got it in eco mode now, which is different than the auto idle, but I need to read up on that a little bit more. It is supposed to be a fuel saving measure. Two more buttons. This here is the button. There's several positions here. This is what locks the pin grabber, the bucket, onto the pin grabber, and also releases it. This button here is to put your blade in float mode. Once you've enabled it, this is how you enable float mode. You can kind of see when I hit the button here, it well, I don't have the arm down, hydraulics initialized, initiated. But anyways, you can hit that and put it in float mode. The blade will float, but there's also two buttons on the back side here, you can switch in and out of float mode using one of those buttons in the back there, and then the other one you can use to switch between thumb control. Oh, I take that back. That's on the back side of this one. I'm actually not sure what that third button is back there. So it's kind of nice. You can leave it in float and then, or enabled, and then you can turn it on and off with this button right here. And of course, this is your high and low speed for tracking. The screen's quite nice. It shows you a lot of information here all at once. Far left here, this is your fuel level, which it's full. In the middle is your RPM. Also shows it's in eco mode. And as I turn the RPM up, you see that kind of comes up and down with it as well. Far right over here, this is the temperature, engine temperature. So right now I have X3 set up, the third hydraulic set up for the thumb. Again, I can switch that with this button on the back side of the right stick. There's a button here, and what that does is it cycles this switch from thumb open and close to the boom swing left and right. And of course, this is a proportional valve, very high quality feel to it, amazing control. I was really surprised at how well I was able to control it. And of course, in here you can see for X3, I have the speed turned down, open and close, or in this case tilt, I should say. This is for the tilt bucket. Yeah, X3 is tilt, X1 is the thumb and the boom swing. So what's cool about this too is I can control the tilt, or any of the hydraulics here. I can control the speed in one direction independently of the other. That's kind of what this little line is on either side. With the tilt, I have it the same speed both directions, but with the boom, when you switch it to boom, a lot of times starting to fog up here. I'm gonna have to turn on some air and get these windows defogging a little. But what's nice is a lot of times when you're up close to something, you'll have this boom because it swings 80 degrees in this direction, almost right angle. You can swing it this way fast, but when you get up close to a building or something, and you know, just to be on the safe side, you don't want it to swing back that way fast. So you can make the swing left to right very, very slow. So if you're up close to something and you want to make a final movement rather than swinging the entire house, you can just use this to slowly move the boom back. Even if you push this all the way to the right, it'll still only move slow. You can also, another cool feature is you can adjust the rate at which the acceleration and deceleration happens on those cylinders and so on too, which is really cool. Again, this is my first time really. I played around with it when he first delivered it, but I had a few other jobs I was working on with up in the Sugar Woods, so I really haven't had any time. This is really the first time I've sat in it to really do any playing around here. So I have learned that much from the manuals and so on what to do with the screen. I'm gonna probably make another video. We'll go into some in-depth how-tos on that. These Volvo ECR50Fs, man, before I bought this, there was not a lot of information on YouTube about these, and I thought, boy, what a great opportunity for my channel to capitalize on that. I'm gonna go through this machine with everyone or anybody that's interested, and really go through all these menus and everything, and how everything works. Let's engage the hydraulics here. It doesn't like it when the seatbelt's not on. So here we have windshield wipers and also the fluid. And this one here is for the rotating beacon light that's on the back. I actually don't have that actually even set up yet. I need to adjust that. But let me put my belt on to keep that from beeping at us. And so anyway, so this valve here is for the tilt on the bucket. So it's nice. I can use the thumb on this side and the tilt on that side all at the same time, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Let's see here. Let's do that, and then I'll show you just how much control you have with that. If you want, I can go really slow, or I can ramp it up there at the end. I'll show you the other direction. I can speed that. I've got this, that's wide open, so the way I have it adjusted now, that's as fast as it'll go. I generally like to have have control over that. I might be able to speed it up a little bit, but I like to have that slow, because as I'm pulling grade, especially doing some compound angles, it's nice to be able to slowly adjust your tilt as you're drawing the stick and the boom in and uncurling all at the same time. So yeah, so I like having that control there. If I remember right, this is the horn. Nope, that's boom swing. Okay, so this front one is actually switching from thumb to boom swing. So right now I've got it set to boom, and you can see I now can rotate that to the right, can rotate that to the left. I have this set up slow too, plus it's very cold, so the hydraulics and everything are very thick and everything. But you see this really comes over tight, which is great for getting around corners of buildings and stuff like that. So let's move this back out. And this is so much nicer than having to have a rocker switch on the floor. You just move this over to where you want it, and then hit this button, and it shows X1 is selected again. So instead of boom, it's X1. So now I've got the thumb, and you can see again I got extreme control. I can speed it up, but I've got extreme control over this, which is really nice. Okay, starting to get a little bit of heat. I'm gonna turn the RPM up a little bit, see if we can get a little bit more heat generated here. So something unique about these Volvos that I really like is on all the other Minis, you're sitting right on top of the engine. So you get all that heat comes up through the floor, and it's just noisy. Where with these, the motor's actually sitting beside me on this. So you can see the exhaust right over here. So the engine is sitting up and in that side compartment, which is great. It frees up so much room in here, and it's incredibly quiet. You probably can't tell, it's at idle now and it's cold, but it's just amazingly quiet and smooth. So let's see, I think that's going to be it for now. I'm gonna cycle the couple pistons around and get things warmed up a little bit. The project that I wanted to do is I have some, let's get turned around here. I have some trees down there at the bottom of this bank. Let's get her swung around. Everything is so smooth in this, it's unbelievable. So let's get a little bit closer look. This is a really steep bank. I have probably 1,000 yards of material that I had hauled in here to make this flat area for my parking area. But you'll see down there, I've got some logs down here that I cut and let them lay down across the bottom of this bank, because this bank keeps sliding down on me. And but unfortunately, two of those trees, the bigger one to the left and then the smaller one down there, let's see, that one right here and that one right here, those are both cherry trees, and I don't really want to use those for holding the bank back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook the chain up to the end of the boom, hang it down there, and I'm going to drag those nice cherry trees back up here to the landing. Not sure yet what I'm going to do with them, whether we'll mill them or just cut them for firewood. I'm not sure, but I don't want them to just sit down there and rot in the dirt. So that's the project that I'm going to be working on first. After that, I've got two giant white pines that I cut on the other side of the property. I'm going to take the machine over there. We'll put one of the other buckets on. I have so by the way, I have this outfitted everything with work Brau. So I got a work Brau thumb, a work Brau quick coupler, and all three of my buckets are work Brau. So that tilt there, that's a 42 inch. I could have gone to a 48 pretty easily, but I decided against that because I want to be able to use this for doing some digging as well. So the thing is super heavy duty. So I think 42 is going to be a good size for this. Hanging that over the side of the machine full at 21 feet out, that's going to be a lot for stability. But you'll see I've also got a 30-inch heavy-duty digging bucket, and then next to it I've got an 18-inch heavy-duty digging bucket. And again, those are all work Brau buckets. Really impressed with the build quality. I'll probably do another video of just those buckets, some close-ups of some of the dimensions on some of this. I had a 40-inch AMI tilt bucket on my 35, so 2 inches narrower than this, and this bucket weighs 375 pounds more than that one. So not only is it just more volume, but it's just built so much stronger. Of course, for the bigger machine, it's got to withstand more forces and so on. But yeah, I'm really happy with the bucket choices. The thumb, when you order from Work Brau, you can tell them exactly what you want. Like, do you want 2 tines? Do you want the tines close together? Do you want them spread out? So I had them just put the tines out to the outside like that there. Just so that when I grab something, a log or whatever, that it gives a little bit more leverage to twist it, to clamp it flat against the bucket. So, all right, we're starting to get a little bit of heat in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with these logs. And stay tuned to the channel, because like I said, I'm gonna be bringing a lot more content about this new machine, the buckets. I'll give some first impressions, which I want to give it a couple hours in the seat here before I do that. Obviously, being new, I'm super excited about it. It's bigger than my 35, so everything feels really cool and big and everything. But so we'll do a first impressions, and then we'll go through sections of it at a time, so we don't have too many super long videos. But that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.